Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of What's the Move. Today, I am here with RayC, a professional Hearthstone player for Panda Global. And today, together, we're going to be breaking down a very cool play that he had at a Dreamhack, where he was playing Dr. J in the Highlander Priest mirror. So, how's it going, Ray?
It is going fantastic, Alico. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited to do this because so far I've had to kind of put up my own kind of scrubbish plays in this series. I'm very excited to have someone as good as yourself, as knowledgeable as yourself, breaking down a cool Hearthstone situation for us. So why don't we lead things off by just jumping into the situation? Why don't you explain kind of what you're seeing right now in this game state?
So basically, in this game, my opponent, Dr. J, has effectively had the nuts so far. He had Kazakus on 4, he had Raza on 5, and he had Anduin on 8. So, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, right? So I'm pretty far behind. I'm actually incredibly far behind. And honestly, it's not looking so great for me. I know my opponent's most likely gotten a 1-mana spell. I know I'm at 21 life. They have a grip full of cards. And honestly, he could probably just kill me with only 9 mana on the next turn. So I am pretty worried. So, what's the move? Now, at this point, I'm thinking in my head, okay, I have to get lucky in order to win. I need to try to get value out of the Priest of the Feast. That's one way you can come back into the game after your opponent's played Anduin, is if you get a really good Priest of the Feast turn, you're just able to heal out of their burst. If I already know I'm going to have to play more than one spell this turn to get myself out of range, I can't just Kazakus for a 5-mana potion. So if I'm going to play more than one spell this turn, I'm going to play Thoughtsteal. So I need to do that right away. So that way I can evaluate my options. And I ended up getting Radiant Elemental, which was probably one of the best cards in this situation, because now I reevaluate my options. I say, okay, I have Kazakus in hand. If I get the perfect 1-mana potion, which isn't that unlikely since there are less options for 1 mana, then I'm in a pretty good spot. And what I'm looking for is to summon a minion, hopefully get a really beefy minion. Lyra's died this game, Raza's died this game. There are a lot of strong minions I could get. And then the other option is I want to get health, because that's the only way that I can win from this point, is to get a board that just cannot get answered. And if I get a big minion with a Priest of the Feast on the board, then it's super difficult for Priest to deal with that outside of just Shadow Word Horroring and Pint-Sized Potion.
So when you don't draw the combo pieces as well as your opponent does, in this matchup especially, you think that the best way to go is to create too large of a board for them to really handle?
Yeah, that's one of the other ways that you can win, aside from just having stuff like Greater Healing Potion and hope that they don't draw their 30 damage plus combos. You can try to just heal out of their range, but getting tempo on the board is definitely one of the best ways, especially when you have Kazakus. I think plus health is the most underrated option, and 1-mana potions should be picked so much more than they are.
What kind of situations do you think we should be seeing 1-mana potions more often? Because I think most players would look at this particular board state, and if they didn't identify that you were at risk of dying, since you're already at 21, and they might have just gone for a Kazakus plus 5-mana potion.
Yeah, if I went for a 5-mana potion, from my point of view, I'm probably just going to be dead, so I need to heal as much as possible. And 5-mana potion, it has less options to get what I want. I want summon a minion and plus health, because I'm not going to win this game through killing him with just Anduin damage, because I don't have Anduin. I'm going to die way before then, most likely. So I'm just trying to get a board that is really resilient and can just be able to not die to their AoE. And you don't need plus 4 health. Plus 2 health is more than enough to get out of their range. And at that point, I've already seen a Dragonfire potion as well. So I'm really only concerned with 5 mana potion, deal 4 damage AoE. And
but you are pretty confident that Dr. J selected a 1 mana potion, though.
I'm confident that he selected a 1 mana potion, but there's a chance he selected a 5 mana potion, and then he got 4 damage AoE. So that's really the only thing I'm worried about. And if I make my board just resilient to that, I don't really think there's any way that he's going to be killing it outside of Pint-Size Horror. And you have to take risks, right?
Yeah,
you have to hope that he just doesn't have it. Because if they have everything, they have everything. It is what it is.
So was this the turn that you identified that that out-tempoing Dr. J was your best way to win?
For sure. Once I saw the Radiant Elemental, I knew that that was pretty much the only viable play, was to go for a 1 mana potion, try to get plus health. And if I get summon a minion, then that's even better, because there's a chance I summon a strong minion, and then I present a potential 2-turn lethal. And I ended up getting really lucky, because I got Lyra, which meant that I could generate more random spells like Mind Blast, or just more damage in general. So with that, I ended up actually just killing him basically in 1 turn. So I didn't even expect to kill him that fast. I expected it to take 1 more turn than that, but it ended up working out even better for me than I thought it would.
Why didn't you consider playing the Shadow Visions this turn?
The Shadow Visions just feels really slow. What am I looking for? I already have Mind Blast in my hand, right? So I'm not looking for more damage. I already have Smite in my hand. The only thing I would look for is really Power Word Shield, or just some way to cycle. But that route of victory already feels way too slow. Even if I had drawn Anduin the next turn, playing Anduin at this point in the game is already slower than just creating a big board and hitting him over multiple turns.
So you liked your chances of finding something more meaningful for the tempo plan off of the Thought Steal instead of the Shadow Visions?
I think that's really the only way that I saw myself winning, was to either hope that I hit something off of Thought Steal, or just get insanely lucky and hope that he just never has the burst, which isn't ever the case. I mean, they always have it. So to me, that was really the only way that I could win, because Anduin felt way too slow. And there's obviously, I still have a pretty big deck, so drawing it in the first place is most likely not even happening.
So we were talking a little earlier about how you thought it was important for you to act quickly on these turns. Would you mind like helping us out in understanding why it's so important to be decisive, especially when you're playing decks like Highlander Priest, where you have cards like Lyra and cards that draw cards?
Yeah, so if you have a general idea of what your turn is going to be, then you should just be playing off of instinct a lot of the time. If you wait when you have cards like Thought Steal, Lyra, etc., and you just wait till the rope, it becomes a lot more strenuous to make those decisions, and sometimes you just kind of crack under pressure. So it's better to play the cards that get you more cards early and just start your turn like right away, so you can think about the more important decisions, because most likely you're playing that Thought Steal, you're playing that Lyra, so you might as well do it first and then just kind of go, because you have so many animations to get through that even if you're playing the turn optimally, if you don't start it right away, there's a chance you don't even get through the whole turn because of how many animations there are, especially with Lyra. It's just pretty crazy.
Awesome. So was there anything else that you wanted to discuss about this particular situation or this play?
Mainly just that Kazakus 1-mana potions really need to be praised more and see more play. I mean, it's the best potion for the value. The 5-mana and 10-mana potions, value-wise, are not as good as the 1-mana potions. It's just the best potion, and I don't see it picked enough.
Well, I think that's a perfect spot for us to wrap up today's episode. Everyone, please check out RayC on Twitter. He is at PG_RayC. He is a member of Panda Global Games, so feel free to give those guys some love too. RayC, again, thank you so much for joining us, and I'll see you guys all next week.